Okay, calling the meeting to order at 6:31. So we're not doing the poo tonight and the oli, but we are doing the pule. Mr. Endo?
Can you all rise? So remember that I think their family was in Narakuri, their house burned down. They lost everything, right? The fire was so fast. They got out with their lives. But remember that, because so many, I mean, between the fires we've been having, the gun shooting, the violence, we need God's blessing. Let's pray. Father, we do come to you. And we just ask you to comfort that family who's lost everything. I thank you how the community is rallying around them to help support them, but give them all they need to go through this time. Comfort them, especially the kids, Lord. And those who have lost their homes and possessions from the L fires, continue to be with them in their recovery. Lord, again, we ask that you remove the anger, the violence in people's heart, replace it with your love. Make Wai'anae a place that we can be safe and enjoy one another's friendship. Bless us, Lord, in Wai'anae. Bless our board meeting. For praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Okay, next on the agenda is City Emergency and First Responders Monthly Report. We have HFD, Honolulu Fire Department.
Good evening. My name is Firefighter 1 Kahuyasun. As far as the incident statistics report goes, as far as fires went, we had 1 structure fire, 3 wildland and brush fires, 17 nuisance. Nuisance fires are rubbish fires outside of structures or vehicles. 1 cooking fire and 1 activated fire alarm in which no fire was found. As far as emergencies goes, we had 102 medical related emergencies, 1 motor vehicle collision with a pedestrian, 6 motor vehicle collisions, 0 mountain rescues, 0 ocean rescues, and 1 hazardous material incident. And onto the fire safety tip. This month's fire safety tip is seasonal decorations. With the holiday season just around the corner, consider fire-resistant, non-combustible decorations. Choose only Underwriters Laboratory approved electrical decorations and follow manufacturer's instructions for installation and load. This is just use lights that are in good repair. Always turn off lights before leaving your home or going to bed. Do not overload power strips, surge protectors, and extension cords, and never leave candles unattended. Secure lighters and matches out of reach from children. Is there any questions?
Any questions?
I have a question, Chair.
Okay, go ahead, Koko'ohu.
Hello, HFD, thank you for always coming. So my question was the fire that we had up Wai'anae Valley behind the homestead where I live, last month. Do you know what was the cause of that fire? That's my question.
Oh, the brush fire. As far as things go right now, I believe our investigators are still looking into it. When we do have more information on, we'll get back to you on that.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Endo, go ahead.
I think the house that recently burned down with that big family was in Nanakuli, though, right? Do you guys track that?
I'm sorry?
Do you guys track that fire as well?
Yeah, so same thing as the brush fire. The investigators
It's
are doing the
done,
report,
okay.
doing their due diligence and looking into it.
So I just want to share this for everybody's tip. If you have a dryer, your manners tells you change take, clean out the lint trap. Because if you don't clean out your lint trap, it's going to fill up, and the lint going to go under inside your dryer, and if it ever gets to by the element, your house gonna burn down. So there's several dryers that I had to repair just in the nick of time. So I just wanted as a fire tip. If you don't clean out your dryer lint trap, you better start doing it. If not, your house might burn.
Thank you, Board Endo. Anybody in person? Nope. Thank you, HFD. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is Honolulu Police Department. Go ahead, Sergeant Fumi.
Hi, good evening. Aloha Board Chair members and community of Wai'anae. I have the crime stats for the month of September. One sec. Let's see. Okay, so the month of September for our district, motor vehicle thefts was 14 for the district. Wai'anae had 3. Burglaries, 12 for our district. In our area was 6. 103 thefts in our district. Wai'anae had 32 reported. Break-ins, car break-ins, 23 for the district reported, 5 in Wai'anae. 31 speeding citations issued. Total citations, including other moving violations and parking, was 1,409. Total calls for service in our district, 7,770. Total calls in Wai'anae was 2,346. We had a couple questions that I followed up on from last month. I was asked what the total homicides reported or occurred in Wai'anae was between 2022 and 2025. There was a total of 21. Also, there was a question about school bus stop signs when they put it out, when they stop. So when a school bus puts out the red stop sign, then both sides of the traffic needs to stop on the roadway, except if there is a clearly marked division in the middle, like a median or a turn lane, then only the side that the bus is on needs to stop adjacent to the stop sign. So everybody going in the same direction needs to stop on that side. But if there's a division in the middle of the roadway, then the other side does not need to stop. That's the current law. And I think that's it for last week's questions. Any questions from the board or community, I can answer them now.
Aloha, Sergeant Fumi. This is Salcedo. SPOs at the KL district. When is it actually scheduled for this month?
We're gonna do one on Thursday, Friday, actually, this week.
Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thursday notifications, Friday cleanup.
Awesome. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
James Coles, from the Nanakuli Mali Neighborhood Board. How you doing, Sergeant? The e-bikes that got confiscated in Eva Beach, will the owners get those bikes back or they lose them for good?
No, they do get them back, but we are requiring that they show proof of ownership or purchase before they are released back to them.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Anyone else in person?
Chair,
Mr.
just,
You something? No? Okay, now online, we have Johnny
Yep,
May.
I have a question. Oh, sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Johnny May.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, thank you for your report on clarification on school bus stop. And secondly, I want to thank HPD for coming to Wai'anae McDonald's to speak to the community for those who attended. Thank you.
Yep, thank you for your support. We do try and go back and rotate locations, and so we did one in I believe couple A last time. So we did one in Wai'anae this time, and then we'll be back probably within the next few coffee with the cops. So looking forward to meeting with everybody in the future.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I know. Go ahead, Nani. Go ahead.
Hi, mahalo. Aloha, Sergeant. So on September 15th, I had a call at about 9 o'clock in the morning from a community member in regards to your police officers riding their quads on top of the heiau. We had a little discussion in the last board meeting. And I know this wasn't in regard, this particular situation wasn't a training thing. They were citing people in Malaya area at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know how to move forward with this board chair, but that should not be happening. Riding quads, like I go over to the heiau area and I educate people that come in with bikes and mopeds and so on and so forth, and let them know what that place is about, and that there should not be any motor vehicles that's on the area, and that should go for the same for police officers. So
Okay.
if that can be brought up.
I can bring that up to the
Thank you.
command in our district and have it brought up at our commanders meeting, and we'll get that message sent out. We'll just need to clarify exactly where restricted area would be. But yeah, we do get a lot of illegal camping complaints, so that's why they're out there. But yeah, they shouldn't be anywhere that offends burial sites or anything like
Thank
that.
you.
So,
I appreciate
or
that.
hey,
I appreciate that, Sergeant. I have one more thing to add in regards to that particular day at 9 o'clock in the morning. Again, citations were given to our people that are in the coastline. Granted, they have whatever meals, whatever personal items here and there. So this particular one, this citation that I'm looking at in my hand, and I can share it with the board, the community member has sent this to me. Again, 9 o'clock in the morning, litter control. They got cited for litter control. They got cited for failure to comply with the signs. They got cited for storing their pop-up on public
Nani,
property.
Nani,
Yes.
Nani, sorry to interrupt you. Can you please summarize and get to the
Oh,
question?
okay. Well, I wanted to address that because we already know our people on the coastline, they can't afford to go to be getting cited. And so again, I understand that there needs some direction in making sure the area is clean. But this is, to me, this is actually a little more suppression on our people. And so 9 o'clock in the morning, there's people that are putting up tents all over the park, whether they're staying at the park or just visiting the park. And so just trying to find a way for HPD to stop picking on our people, and especially those that are using the coastline areas.
Okay. I mean, when you say our people, we don't verify what race they are. You know, everybody that's
I
there
never said nothing about race.
doing something illegally, they're the ones that are getting cited. They have their day in court and they have a chance to defend themselves. And I don't know exactly what the situation was when the officers cited them, but they're not picking on anybody. They're just gonna cite any violations they observe that violates the rules of the park, which are posted. Yeah, so you know they get to, yeah, if they feel it's unfair, then they can talk to a sergeant, ask for a supervisor on duty at that time, call 911 and talk to somebody. Um, I'm sorry, I don't know what the situation was at that time, so I can't say whether they were wrong or right, but you know, they're just addressing complaints. So
Yeah,
I
so
think
this
they have
particular
to go
person
to court.
wasn't given any verbal warning on that. Yeah, it was just
Nani,
given the ticket.
Nani, can
Okay.
you let?
Yeah, if it's a clear violation, then they're just gonna cite. Yeah, I mean, they could get it arrested,
Hmm.
but they were cited so that they have a chance to explain in court.
Thank you, Sergeant Fumi. Appreciate that. Go ahead. We have one in person.
Hi, I just wanted to ask where the SPO is gonna be. I know this Thursday, Friday, but what location? Can you share that or no?
Yes, it's also posted by the Department of Facility Maintenance of the city, but it will be at KL Beach Park, mostly on the unimproved side where there's been complaints about illegal camping for a long period of time. Same people residing there. You know, they have dogs that are known to run around and get aggressive and things like that.
Got it. Thank you.
Hi, Angela.
Okay, we got Coco Oho. Go ahead. Online.
You muted, Coco.
Coco Oho, you're muted. Unmute.
On mute. Oh, there you go. Sergeant Fumi, thank you for getting the information on the homicides. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's it. Aloha.
You're welcome.
Go ahead in person.
Aloha, Sergeant Fumi. How you doing? Pikachu shall be a billion.
Be
You know,
good.
Pikachu's always at the Honolulu Police Commission, you know, talking to the police commissioners, because I 100% believe you guys on the West Side deserve more rewards, positive reinforcement, and I would love to reinforce the barbecue with the community. I will talk to Chief Rowdy Vanek and the police commissioners so we can bring this unity in the community. And I just want to applaud the good stuff. I know we have to work out a lot of things. You know, we've got a lot of, how can I make this easiest way? Human trafficking, drug smuggling, alcohol, all kind of crazy stuff, even at Pokai Bay, Makaha, and Nanakuli. But I want to tell you some good news while I'm here is that we not me, it's, how do I say this right? Rhonda's, I'm going to mess up the name, like, it's not Kalahui, it's the Now Media Lahui or something, Media Medic Lahui. I messed up the name, but they gave away 5 tons of food today in Nanakuli where the homeless are. And tomorrow we're going to be doing at Paradise Chapel at the church for Wednesday. So I applaud all of you guys, and I want to reinforce the relationship between HPD and Wai'anae and the West Side. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Pikachu. Is there any more? Nope. Okay. Thank you, Sergeant Fumi. Appreciate you. Okay, next
Thanks,
we're
Derek.
going to Ocean Safety Department.
All right. Evening, everyone. My name is Blake Copperose, Lieutenant with Ocean Safety District 4 here in Wai'anae. As far as our attendance to our beaches, we had 132,891 in attendance during the month of September. Our busier beaches are Pokai Bay, Ma'ili, and Kalaniana Ole Beach Park. Our total preventative actions this month was 15,689, and our public contact was 18,510. A total of 8 rescues and no drownings this month. Our total emergencies was 14. Some of those were reported as a swimmer being swept out at Paradise Cove. Others include Kahe Point, a swimmer being swept out and was brought in by Ocean Safety. Overdue diver was later found by Ocean Safety, and a swimmer in the rip at Makaha. Some other things to report: we did have a shark at Depot's Beach Park, Nanakuli, and we had a heat exhaustion out at Kaena Point of a 52-year-old male, and we also had a 14-year-old male forehead laceration at Makaha Beach. That is all of the major incidents we had this month in September. Any questions?
Any questions from in person? Nothing online. Thank you, sir. You got a question? Go ahead.
Aloha, Pikachu, Shelby Winner back because I love ocean safety, and we were at the Hawaii Honolulu City Council promoting their new districts and the most guys I see is the tall white guy with the stuff, and they all wear rubber slippers. So I think we should do something at Pokai Bay as a barbecue with everyone, so we can make this solid with Chris Maroka, Samantha the Court, Darius Keel, and everybody, because you guys deserve a reward. With 18,000 incidents, are you crazy? That means these guys can't swim, Portuguese. Love you.
Thank you, Ocean Safety. Appreciate you. Okay, next is Board of Water Supply.
I guess I'll go in first. Koi Hilo with Board of Water Supply. Last month, we had one main break, 8-inch on the 29th at 86-360 Ohimalka Street. That's off of Halona. General water announcements. Board of Water Supply needs your kukua now. Please reduce water usage by 20%. Lower than normal rainfall and higher water demand can impact our water supply. While we are good for now, here are some simple ways you can help ensure we have fresh drinking water now and into the future. Turn off the tap while brushing teeth, washing hands, or shaving. Shorten showers by a few minutes. Use a garden hose with a nozzle on it. Irrigate early in the morning to reduce evaporation. Even small changes make a big difference. Let's work together to make every drop count. For more tips on how to conserve water, visit www.boardofwatersupply.com. Following up on some previous issues, up Wai'anae Valley Road, where the pipes go under the road, is pretty rough. Board of Water fix the road was the complaint. We did some investigating. Wai'anae Valley Road falls under the jurisdiction of the Department of Facility Maintenance Division. We have reached out to them regarding the condition of the road to see if they can smooth things out. Next question. Do we know what happened to the water that was used by the Oahu sugar plantation after it closed? After the Oahu sugar mill closed in the mid-1990s, much of the water was redirected for their uses. Excuse me. Sugar mills' reusable wells now supply water to diversified agriculture, the Waipio soccer park, and various golf courses. Older wells that were too deep and slightly brackish for drinking water are no longer in active use and remain under the direction of the State Commission on Water Resource Management. Additionally, the Board of Water Supply developed new wells to provide water services to the following communities of Waipio, Waipahu, Waikele, Kunia, Ewa, and Wai'anae. And lastly, community would like to have, imagine a day without water in the area next year. Contact Lena Suzuki. We are pleased to share that the event will be coming to the Wai'anae coast with more details on the exact location to be announced early next year. Mahalo for your interest.
And then I have some information on several other questions that came up last month. So one was about putting in a new spigot at the Wai'anae Valley 2 wells. I did talk to the manager and he said, no, he's not going to do it. The problem that happened is it was spring loaded and it was propped open and it drained the hydropneumatic system. We had to bring in a tanker truck to fill up and to reprime the pump. And if it had gone dry and didn't get reprimed properly, a lot of people would be without water and it could have been for a significant amount of time. So he does not want to take that chance of it happening. So he apologizes, but he cannot replace the spigot. Let's see. The other question was about e-bikes from Board Member Jordan. We will be presenting and talking about e-bikes at the November 4th Wai'anae Neighborhood Board meeting. It will be on your agenda. So we will be ready to discuss that and various possible solutions, we hope. And then finally, Mrs. Muriel Ioane had asked us to contact her regarding a meter for her property to help her with the keep down the brush to keep it from drying out. And Garen Hamasaki from our service department did contact her. He also did remember speaking to her previously, and he provided her with the information that she requested. So hopefully we will be able to help her out with her issue. And then finally, up here, and I hope everyone can get a copy, another item we will be coming back to the board next month is we have put together a draft feral ungulate control plan for Makaha Valley. So we wanted to give everyone an opportunity to read it in advance of the meeting next month. I personally don't like it when somebody gives me 20 pages to read in 5 minutes and try to absorb it. So I asked if I could bring it out tonight and bring it to the group. So we have plenty copies up here, so please help yourself. I see Shelby's already passing them out. Thank you. And then next month, we'll be ready to take questions. We will be here. Our watershed specialist will be here along with a representative from DLNR. So thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Any questions for in person? Go ahead.
Aloha, Pikachu, Shelby, and Bear are back. And so I know you're asking us to save water. And when I shave, of course, to turn off the water because I'm getting an old man now. I'm complaining like a kapuna. But can you give us a 10% discount? I gotta ask. If you don't ask, you don't get, brah. So that's what I gotta ask in front of you. And I know we're gonna talk about the gondola stuff, but you cannot make a Jurassic Park gondola without water, irrigation, sanitation. I don't see anything on this plan for water. So can we address this issue now on all this acreage with no water, no irrigation? It comes from Mount Ka'ala, which is Wai'anae. Why asking for a drought? Because it's not raining in Wai'anae. We're all here. So how can you store the water? If there's no rain, it comes from top to the mountain, just like Mount Sinai. And we know the truth. So can you please address this issue? Because we're not going to, we don't even have committees. It's not even scheduled on the agenda. That's not my problem. Let's solve it all together. While we're now about the gondola from Jurassic Park, and Pikachu says, hell no, on the official record.
Okay, Johnny May online, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Kathleen, is it possible to get a draft of that handout, tonight's handout from your website, BWS?
Yes, I'm going to email it to your chair and then Jeffrey, and he'll put it in the Google Drive for everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then the next question, for the BWS water representative, I just wanted to say that I did get Mr. Lau's letter with my bill, and I just want to emphasize what he wrote, that the past 18 months rainfall has been mostly at below normal levels, while water use has climbed above average. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny May. Okay.
Hi, good evening, everybody. So first, we appreciate giving us ahead of time. And Chair, if I may, I'd like to volunteer. Maybe we do some type of joint, because I just opened the first page and I seen farrow, pigs, goats in Wai'anae. That's a big That's a big thing. We get plenty hunters. We get plenty people who going to come out for this. This meeting here isn't the right place for a presentation of this size. I'll volunteer my next month's talk story session, or I'll work with you, Chair. Why don't we combine and do because this is going to be big. When it comes to hunting, which is basically what they are, it's not fair to have that presentation at this neighborhood board. You and I can talk about it later, and we'll work with you. When is our November 4th? I mean, when is our November talk story? Do we have the date yet? I'll get back with you. November 24th? Oh, yeah, October 24th is October's talk story, but since they were gonna come on November, it's a lot easier for us to flex than it is for them. So if that's okay, I just feel like this is much too important to try and squeeze into the 10 minutes that they're gonna have.
Hi, Blessing Star Dela Cruz for Board of Water Supply. Couple months ago, I spoke with Mr. Ernie in regards to a specific program that he had created that I had requested.
Can you face this way?
Sorry. Couple months ago, I had spoken with Ernie in regards to a program that was created for specifically for Wai'anae. He had directed it for a program for lower amount of percent of paying bills for our kapunas and our low-income family here. He had created it for the program here and specifically for Wai'anae. And I wanted an update on it because I'm hearing that we do still have kapunas and low-income home housing people, families that are struggling still yet to pay the bills. So if that program can be spoken out to the neighbors, neighborhood boards, so the community can enlist on it, because for water usage, water is essential and it's for humanity, life living. So which is a federal regulation in that part. And that's why I went forward to talk with Mr. Ernie. And that's why I want the community to take advantage of that with the Board of Water Supply. If our kapunas or if our families are having hard time paying our bills, for water, of course, see Board of Water Supply and get that going for you and your family. So I'd like to get an update on how that program is going.
So much, board member. I am not aware of this, so I will go back and talk to him. Thank you.
I am a board member for Nanakuli, but right now I'm here in Wai'anae and I'm in community. Thank you.
I got two things. First, Chris, what you mentioned earlier is very important to us, the hunters. I used to be a hunter when I was younger. Now I'm too old for that already. But my two boys, myself and my two boys used to go hunting. So that's still very important for this community. But I just wanted to say thank you to Kathleen. I had a minor problem with my water meter in my house. I had this so-called truck driver with a low boy run over my water meter and broke the concrete boxes around it. And Kathleen was able to help me get it straightened out and help me get it situated, and I got it all that fixed. I just wanted to say thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Hello, this is Austin. Kelly, on this meeting that's coming up, please schedule not only the DLNR DUFA, but please schedule the state DLE as well too in this. Because we need this is going to have to be companioned with some type of other state law enforcement as well. To DUFA cannot control this by themselves. Thank you.
Aloha, Michael William Capolino, Eli. They did fix the Jeep maintenance road, then go all up to the river, but I never see if they dig up that pipe, the pipe that's under the road, but they made the road nice. I think not jagged anymore. And too bad that we're not gonna have water up there, a lot of water tanks. And then this one right here, I don't want to plan them with Nick Vargas. this macaw thing. And what they call that thing? Wild game management. The game that stay inside here, they get management for, they like account for all the goats and stuff, yeah. But they can't, like, we didn't stop them from eradicating them. The Wai'anae Hunting Association. So I'm part of the Wai'anae Association with John and Pookie and a couple hunters. I mean, get plenty of us. So yeah, and I saw this and I never couldn't get the code because they get the stuff over there on the signs. Now the thing's suspended, but they're bringing them back again. Because I get them straight to my phone. The forestry and DLNR, they send them to me. They send me all this kind of information and where I can hunt in Lanai, Big Island, wherever. But yeah, aloha. This gotta be on bigger meeting. Because get more hunters than this. You're gonna have this 3 hours.
Anybody else? No. Okay, Mr. Ando, go ahead.
Would be good for you to work with our state and city officials, because when I'm driving down the coast and I see many homeless taking a shower, the showers no more any kind of control. Another time no more the head, so it's just pouring out full blast, right? And they're not paying for the water, so they just letting it run. I'm just wondering, maybe you can work with them, come up with suggestion on how they can better manage the water at the showers, better spigots or even the shower heads if they, right? Water control.
Yeah, we do work closely with DPR and they are aware of it and we'll just send them another notice. Thank you.
Yeah.
In defense of Board of Water, I'm going. I'm working on it. I fell down today. I really don't need it. However, in defense of Board of Water Supply, the homeless, hopeless, and houseless, they break all the spigots. Okay, these guys are constantly fixing. Exactly. So you got to control the crackers before you do anything else. And to help all of these people, water supply, HPD, all these people that are trying to do their job. So I don't think you'll find a fix because they even rip out the copper from the ground. Exactly. So infrastructure is being robbed and we're spending taxpayer dollars to get these guys to fix it. Just say.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, community member. Appreciate that. Anybody else? Nope. Hurry.
Aloha, Kalei Saucedo. I totally agree with you because we see it every day. We see them washing their cars. We see them attaching hoses. But the boat hover is the biggest one on the water. Okay, we all know that. So we cannot just run away from it. But the part is the enforcement needs to be done. And how is the enforcement to be done? It's a big city problem too. So our councilwoman needs to step up her game too. That's the thing. You know, we can't only depend on these guys because believe me, my horns come out and Auntie Kathy can tell you, you know, that my horns come out because I'm tired of seeing water wasted. Weekends, tell me you guys don't see, when you guys pass by, you guys see the water, big water slides and everything. Come on, no, put a blindfold on. That's your taxpayers' money going into that. If you want to waste that type of taxpayer money, give me back my share so I can help my kupunas out, the one that deserves the help. So we cannot just make pretend we don't see it. But we also got to help these guys to make sure it's being the rules is being enforced. We have laws, regulations all in a park. It's always going to be a revolving broken door. Why? Because we allow the revolving broken door. We gotta stop the aiding and abetting and hold each and everyone accountable for the action. Whether they suffer a drug addiction, a mental health, who is the caregiver? Who is the social worker? Somebody's receiving revenue for these people.
Thank you, Auntie Kale. If you can wrap
That's
it
all
up.
I have to say.
Thank
Somebody's
you,
receiving
appreciate it.
revenue.
Okay, we gotta move on to the next item because we have a lot of business we gotta take care of, Mr. Salcido. Please. Thank you. Next, thank you, Board of Water Supply. Appreciate your guys' time. Next one is the filling of vacant board seat. It's an at-large vacancy for the Wai'anae Neighborhood Board District. Do we have any nominations on the floor or any volunteers?
I'd like to nominate, this is Nani. I'd like to nominate Auntie Kimberly Haupu.
Auntie Kim, do you accept the nomination?
I would like to second that motion.
Is there any more volunteers?
So if you guys know the history of William Timoteo, who helped got a treaties from La Cocoa. Okay.
Okay, so for this, just so everyone's aware of the process, the two people that have been nominated, we'll take a brief recess once the other nominee gets in. I'll verify the addresses for the two people that have been nominated, make sure they fall on the boards, the Wai'anae Coast Neighborhood Board district lines before we proceed afterwards. So take like a minute recess once the other nominee gets in, just to verify addresses, just so everyone's on the same page.
Chair, I didn't hear who was the other nominee besides Kim Haupu. Who's the second nominee?
The other one is George Timoteo, also known as Boy. Okay, now we're gonna take a brief recess so that we can verify address in regards to the nominees. Calling the meeting back to order, please. So during the recess, we had one of the nominees rescind the nomination. Huh? Okay. Correction. The nominee, the person who was nominated is accepting the nomination. Okay, so we're gonna call the nominees up to the mic so you can share a little bit about yourself in 2 minutes. And then you can see the timer. So Auntie Kim, if you can come up first, since you was nominated first. Sorry, come to the mic.
So you all can see me, okay? Kimberly Haupu, not born in Wai'anae, raised in Wai'anae, from 1960 to right now. Graduate of Wai'anae High School. I have sat on the neighborhood board when none of you were born, 1975 and 76, with Auntie Frenchie D. Soto, Auntie Nettie Waiamau Nunuha. I was like 25 years of age at that time. And I wore that being on the neighborhood board very proudly. I've been here for a long time. I'm a former worker with the State Department of Mental Health. Many of you might not know me. Chris Morioka's father was my best friend in high school. When we're in the, I don't know if he knows that, but I know many of you are your grandparents here. I'm 76 years old. Yes, I am. So I pride myself on my age. And I'm not afraid to speak. I think the board needs a Mahu on the board. A third opinion, to be quite frankly. Okay, so, and we've just had our, let me know when my 2 minutes is up. Okay, so we've just got our own 501c3 going on. We are Malama Kupuna Mahu here on the Wai'anae Coast. We're working with Connie, Wai'anae, and Mahuz, and they got to be 60 and up. I'm not sure, I'm the last of my generation here on the Wai'anae Coast. And I'm not sure any of you remember any of the old timers, Mercy and Peter. I don't see anybody in here that's from my time, quite frankly. But I'm here, I will wear the proud, Lily, thank you. But if, if offered, I will do my best for my community because I happen to love my community. That's it. Good, thank you.
Mahalo. Next up, George Timoteo.
Good evening, everybody. Everybody know me as Boy Timoteo, born and raised in Wai'anae. I would love to be part of the board and to get involved more in our community. I've been a volunteer for Chris Morioka and his team, and we'd just like to see some changes in the Wai'anae Coast. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, so with both sharing a little bit about themselves, we'll do a roll call vote. So for this process, for those that aren't aware, whoever receives the quorum vote, which is 5 of the board members, we have all 8 present. The person who receives 5 votes will be able to join the board this evening. We'll do 2 roll call votes. If neither one gets quorum after those 2 roll call votes, at the chair's discretion, we can do a third. And at that point, if there's no quorum vote met, we'll advertise that next month's board meeting. Okay. So when I call your name, board, you can say the last name of the person you wish to fill the seat. Upu. Upu. Okay. So board members, when I call your name, if you're online, please unmute your virtual mic. The first volunteer last name is Hau'upu, and the second volunteer's last name is Timoteo. Member Jordan online. If you're talking, you're muted.
Yes, Hau'upu.
Board member Endo.
Timoteo.
Okay. Lanford online.
Timoteo.
Vahilani online.
Timoteo.
Board member Crab online.
Hau'upu.
Peterson.
Hau'upu.
Newman online.
Hau'upu.
And chair. Just hear your microphone.
Hau'upu.
With that, volunteer Kimberly Hopu has met the quorum vote of 5 votes to 3. With that, I spoke to her during the recess. She can join the board for the remainder of the board meeting, and I will get her the coinciding forms, that way she can fill them out. But I think you can come join the board for the rest of the meeting.
Okay, next item on the agenda, declaration of any conflicts by board members. Any conflicts from any board members that you would like to declare? About board business items or anything moving forward?
Chair Richard Lanford.
Go ahead.
I attended the transportation meeting at Nanakuli as well as the houseless meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Lanford. Hearing no others, we're going to move on to presentation. So North Shore Neighborhood Board Chair Pahinui.
Aloha. Yeah, I also wear my other hat is I'm the chair of the North Shore Neighborhood Board. And tonight I also have with me my vice chair, Raquel Chu. And we have Lenny Espinoza in the audience who's been supporting us as well. So tonight we have a very quick presentation. We know a lot of you already know a lot about this issue. You've read about it, seen about it, so we don't want to belabor it. Next slide, please. Okay, this is that letter that we got from the project manager who expected me to be his servant and hand out a letter to the public because they couldn't be bothered to come to our board meeting that we held on July 30th. And basically, I told him to take a very long hike off the top of the mountain. So, yeah, next slide, please. Okay, so one very important thing has happened since we last discussed this over here. They actually rescinded the modification on September 4th. There's a, I didn't bring that letter, but they did rescind that. However, then later in September, they submitted a second modification. So they still want to modify it. They still want to move forward with the project. It's just slightly different from the first modification. It's still junk. Let's just be honest, it's still not a good project. Next slide, please. This is some of the approval conditions. These are things that we're going through and combing through the modification application, which is online. I did share it with the chair. So hopefully Jeffrey can put it in the Google Drive so everybody can download it and take a look at it. So we're combing through it to see what conditions they have not met, because per the city and county, if they don't meet these conditions, the CUP minor can be revoked. And that's what one of the things we're looking to get the DPP to revoke the minor permit. Next, please. Here are some of the things they want to change in the new modification. Again, you know, we could go through the details, but to be honest with you, this is a terrible project. And to be honest with you, I don't care what they tell us. I'm never going to accept this project. It's a bad project, period. Next, please. Questions. So here are some questions that we want people to be asking. Now, DPP did send a letter. We also have a copy of this up there as well. And comments are due to the DPP by the end of this month, October 23rd. So what we're asking is support from this board for a resolution that the chair has put together, along with people sending in comments. Because the more of you that send in comments to DPP, and there's 2 email addresses, the better off we are. They see the strength of our numbers and that we don't support this project. And again, here are some of the questions. I mean, the first thing they start off by saying is Kaukonahua Road, it's a minor arterial road. Anybody that's been on Kaukonahua Road knows it's not a minor road. We've been stuck in traffic at McNair Gate for well over 45 minutes up by the Natural Earth people trying to get down to McNair Gate to get onto Willakina. So anyone that says that doesn't know. Another thing, they keep talking about how they've heard the community. I don't know what community they're talking about, but I'm sorry, nothing happens on the North Shore that she and I don't know about, just like this community. Nothing happens in this community you guys don't know about. And if they're talking to people, they ain't talking to us. I can tell you that right now. So when they say things like, oh, we're talking to the community, I'm calling them on it. I'm calling, excuse my language, I'm calling bull. It is. So we're not taking anything in this document cannot be trusted. I'm telling you that right now. Next slide, please. This is the project area. Next slide, please. These are just pictures, pretty pictures of what they want to do. Keep going, Jeffrey. Thank you. Keep going. I'll get there, Shelby. Give me a second. Okay, so look at this. They want to build this big, huge A-frame, this kind of fake Hawaiian crap. Look at all the people, and look at all these little gondolas going in. And they say in the document, oh, the gondolas are just to move equipment up and down the mountain and take people to the agricultural sections. Yet they want to bring between 1,500 to 1,700 people a day Excuse me, I don't think that many tourists want to go and watch crops grow. I'm sorry, that's just, we all know that that's not what this is for. This is a Disneyland style tourist attraction they want to put on the side of a very sacred place. Next. Same, another one. Look at all those little people in there. Look at all the little figures. Next, please. Again, this is a chart showing the change that they're modifying from the original CUP to the 2025 modification. Now they want to plant some other stuff along with agave plants. The thing is, they kept saying, oh, the reforestation's too hard. They haven't done any of the other agriculture. All they've got going is, guess the big thing is, they went from 100 head of cattle to 200 head of cattle in 7 years. Wow, that's impressive. I don't know about you, but I'm not impressed. They can't even get the ag going. So how in the heck do we even trust them on this? I don't think, they're speaking, as they say, with forked tongue. Next slide, please. And again, this is the original, what they were going to do. You see that big dark green area? They were going to reforest it with sandalwood and a whole lot of other trees. Next slide, please. This is the new one. And so a couple of things we pointed out on the wastewater. And this is one of the things we're going to look at 343, section 343, which is triggers for environmental impact and environmental assessments. We do think that the wastewater is going to be a trigger, and we're going to push really hard on that one, because there's just no way you're going to get 1,700 people up there, and they claim it's only equivalent to 50 single-family homes. They have a cafe and all sorts of stuff, so I don't know what they're talking about. But you can see that little tiny dark green now, that's all the forestry they're going to have. Next slide, please. This is our group, Kupa'a Ka'ala Alliance, started. All these people have supported us. We also have, I think as of tonight, 7 neighborhood boards who've supported. We're going to Wai'anae again next Monday. We're pretty sure they're going to support us, and we're going to keep reaching out. Next slide, please. And in conclusion, you can read it. I'm not going to read it, but we really need your support. We need your help. This is all of us together. If we don't fight this now, they're going to be coming over here. They're going to be going down to Diamond Head. They're going to be going every place to try and do this. This guy is foreign. He's from Canada. He's not from here. He spends 4 months a year on the island of Maui. He knows nothing about us. He knows nothing about our community. And he seems to think that this is just a fabulous thing. He has family help build Whistler. Good on them. And they run an adventure company. He runs an adventure outdoor company in Whistler. We're not Whistler. And I want to thank Val Noah here, very eloquently at a committee meeting last month said, why can't people be okay with who we are and how we are? Why do we have to change to get people to come here? If you don't like what Hawaii has to offer, then go to hell someplace else. We do not want you here. So thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So we're open to take questions. I don't know, Vice Chair, would you like to say a few words, please? And just so you know, she's Pico to North Shore, born and raised. And so there isn't really anything that goes on the North Shore without her knowing about it. And she sits on the Ocean Safety Commission now.
Thank you everyone for coming and give us this time. She's usually the good cop. I'm usually the bad cop. She was very naughty. So there's a lot of huge triggers, right? Ka'ala, although you wouldn't be able to see it from this side, I believe that this would set a precedent, would it allow it to come to this side. And you know, with all the mo'olelo, all the mele, everything, education about where the greatest waters fall, I believe it has a huge impact on that natural resource that our Mauna provides for us. There have been no environmental assessments, no cultural assessments to acknowledge the Kiava Wa'ihe, the Valley of the Spears within our side. We know that there is significance in these areas. You can't say you engage with the community by having small private group tours that you get to control the conversation. And that's what they've done. And full disclosure, I've been on one of those. I went and put myself in one because I wanted to hear and see what they were talking about. And it was overwhelming. We got up to the ridge and they were telling me in one sentence about how beautiful it is. Look around you. But in the same sentence, he gonna tell me how he gonna screw it up. So even in those pictures, the gondolas look really small and that's purposeful, I'm sure, but there are multiple. In this new application, they're taking the pillars from 18 to 8. So does that mean the 8 are even bigger? Because you have a lot of structure you have to drill into that mountain to hold up all of these things. So there's quite a bit of, there's so many holes that we're trying to poke into this. It's not just the application we don't want approved. We want it revoked, period. We believe it should not have been a conditional use permit minor. It should have been a major from the get-go. And I don't believe it would have gone this far had it been a major. So in all fairness, DPP has worked really well with us. This was approved on a different administration. And unfortunately, we now have to figure out, it's on us now to figure out how to find the holes and how to really push these guys to understand that, you know, even though this Mauna physically separates us, it connects us too. I believe this is gonna take a full collaboration from everyone to really, I'm tired of losing stuff to these guys. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Is there any questions from the community in person? Come to the mic. Go ahead.
Hello, Pikachu Shelby Billionaire. So I wanna come Tika. So she comes with me at city council. We're the only two brown people besides Andrew Topolo don't show up to no city council. And we're fighting for Haleiwa. We won against the dump because it's going over the aquifer. But we need to help each other and collaborate instead of compete. Because we know it traffic sucks in North Shore, Matsumoto Shave Ice, they're trying to go Giovanni's, but we can't be gentrified because they wanted that apartment building plus, right? Which she was fighting for. And now we don't want gondolas because they want to make Jurassic Park Disneyland. And all we got to say is no. But Pikachu knows we can sue them in the Supreme Court of State of Hawaii for $165. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, step to the mic.
My name is James. Thank you very much for the presentation. As some of you may know, I don't know where they got this this thing about the Kaukonahua Road being a minor infraction. The only minor infraction I see is walking from here to Farrington Highway. That's minor. Going down Kaukonahua Road is not in any stretch of means. I've been down that road so many times. And over the years, hauling cattle to the valley, I used to haul cattle, pick them up, young brothers, take them to the valley for fattening and pick them back up again and go ship out. But every time I go down that road with a semi, I hold my okole going down still yet. And I can imagine what these bus drivers will be going through, driving all these tours down that valley every single day.
Mr. Collins, can you wrap it up with your question, please?
Sorry, not really a question, but I just wanted to thank you for the update on the presentation. And they don't need this kind of project in that valley. That valley is beautiful.
Mahalo.
Aloha, Haleiwa Neighborhood Board. Question, is this zoning area, was it agriculture, now it's turning into commercial zoning? They're not going to rezone, but they're changing the climate of agriculture.
They claim this is agribusiness, agritourism, and so therefore it's this is what gets me. It's an accessory to the agriculture, but we all know it's going to become the primary, not the accessory. Yeah.
So right now, I'm hearing it's going to be actually, it's demonstrated as it's collusively, where there's multi functions that's happening. Am I correct? Okay, so in other words, it's this climate in this our area along our mountain edge is changing the country, not going to be country anymore. So we're losing our watershed as well too because of development. I'm against the development, especially along our mountains, because it defies our watershed, and we are lack of our vi. So we all agree that development doesn't improve our island, doesn't improve our watershed. So we cannot keep country as country. That's all the questions I have, because I'm hoping our board will take in opposition of having these operations operating in Haleiwa, because it's always going to come around on our side of the mountain. And thank you, Raquel, because you defended agriculture crime bills, made Duke's Law. You were there.
Mr. Salcedo, can you
Appreciate
wrap it up, please?
No, that's all I have. Keep
Thank
country,
you.
country, oppose this development that's coming into our mountains and probably be coming on our side of the mountain as well too.
Yes,
Aloha to y'all.
thank you. We have Johnny May online, and then I'll get to you. Johnny May, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, the owners, was that Doe and DLNR? Secondly, do you have support from Colo Ranch? Don, thank you for being on, and hopefully you listening to this presentation. And you had a North Shore Community Sustainable Plan meeting. Did you express your concern about this project at that date and time? And did you also require the owner to have a wildfire management plan? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Johnny May. Appreciate it. First of all, it was purchased through a different gentleman from Dole, who then sold it to the Canadian guy and said, wouldn't this be a great operation for gondola? DLNR may have some land at the top, right around the top of Mount Ka'ala. I know they own that, along with the Air Force, right? It's conservation anyway, and that's the other fear we have, is he's going to go into the conservation land. We had our open house on the sustainable plan last week. Those of us who were attended, it was an open house, so we didn't really talk specifically about this, but we will be sending in comments on it. And then finally, your last question, Johnny May, was, I apologize. Oh, Kualoa Ranch. We haven't talked to John Morgan about it. I don't know that John cares one way or the other, to be honest with you. He probably would agree with us. I'm sure that he wouldn't be very supportive of it. And in fact, we tell people we don't need another zip line gondola on our side. There is Kualoa Ranch. If you wanted to partake of those activities, you can go to Kualoa. And the other thing that Kualoa has to do is they have to go to their neighborhood board, Kahalu, every time they want to make a change, because they have a special use permit. So John works closely with his community on many of the issues because he has to. So that's a good thing. And he accepts it. And that's just part of what they do. And Johnny May, I think there was one more question you had.
About requiring them to have a wildfire management plan.
Oh, yes.
Because it's
Okay,
over
so-
200 something acres, right?
Yes, and apparently they supposedly have a plan, but their plan included their neighbors who they didn't bother to include, and they had their evacuation going through their neighbor's property and didn't tell their neighbor about it. The neighbor understandably was not happy and said, do not include us in your anything that you do. You do not have our permission, and yet they still went ahead and included them in this modification.
Thank you, Johnny May. Go ahead, Mikey. Oh,
Okay, Michael Eli again. Just like what they're saying. So now, how they gonna get their water if they're gonna drill on that side? We only grumbling about, I mean, the water. You know what I'm saying? So if they drill on that side, the water gonna be leaking through this side more, less. You know what I mean? If they start drilling over there and making their bungalows or whatever they're gonna make, right? So the water, that's the whole key right there. We need the water. Why not make that Hawaiian homestead ag or something? Yeah? Cashews.
So the water is an issue. They are not served by Board of Water Supply. We do not have infrastructure there. There is a small Yeah, well, they could, if they get a permit from the Commission on Water Resource Management, which could be difficult, and we would certainly protest it. But there is a small reservoir, but it's owned by Dole, and I've made Dole aware that they think they're going to probably use that water, and Dole said, no, they don't get to use that water. It does not belong to them. But that's why the wastewater issue is also important. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mano.
Aloha, Valerie Manoa from Ekalamaya Uya, Nanakuli Homestead area. Mahalo for the opportunity to have our cousins from the other side of the mountain. It is a Kako thing. My concern, and I guess my question, if we know about it, going from 933 acres of forestry and agroforestry. I don't know if they know what that means. And then stripping that down to 51.5 acres of agroforestry. I'm wondering if they have an agroforestry specialist. I love gardening. So that's my question. If they have an agroforestry, not just an agricultural specialist, because if we're going back to VIA again, right? Agroforestry is what will bring the rain back, right? To our Mauna, and we all need the VIA. So with them taking away 881.5 acres of agroforestry, Ikalamai, they're taking away our VIA, yeah? Other than taking away the cultural historic value of the place. So do they have an agroforestry specialist?
They actually did at one time. I don't know if in fact, I met him when I took the tour up the hill. I don't know if he's still employed by them, but that's one of the reasons they cut back so much, is that it was too hard. That was what we heard, that they said, oh, it's too hard. Now they are talking about planting another species lower down, something called silver pastor, along with the agave. And that's also in the modification. I didn't, yeah, exactly. And again, if they can't do this, why should we trust them to do even that? So they did at one time, but I don't know if they still do.
Sorry. Yeah, the plants that they're talking about, Chair, they are not going to sustain Firewise, because the Firewise is talking about bringing back native plants. Mahalo.
Thank you. You wanted to come to the mic?
I just had something quick to say because DLNR was mentioned. So Ka'ulanani Urban and Community Forestry, it's a program within DLNR DOFA. They have submitted to DBP saying that they support the community and do not support this development. As for the nature reserve up Ka'ala, that is NEPM. That's a different program of DLNR. But I've been annoying them and hoping that they will also make a statement. But the DOFA general manager has been in brief contact with a developer. They did submit a letter basically sharing their concerns with the endangered species up the mountain. But as far as I know, there was no response from the developer. So just wanted to share that.
Thank you. So we have Cross Crab online. Go ahead, Cross.
Kathleen, I had a clarifying question about the modification applications. For modification applications, is it a completely separate application or sorry, let me clarify. Modification applications underneath the same project, and they need to submit those applications to edit the first project, or are they completely separate permit applications trying to go in?
No, they basically edit the original permit, Cross.
Okay, perfect. So in this process, are the modifications in response to the community input? Is that why they're trying to do the modifications, or?
No, that's what's so puzzling is they keep saying this was in response to community input, but there is no community input as far as we're concerned. We think they just bothered to maybe look at the videos from the board meetings and that's it. But they've never reached out to us. They've never talked to us. So as far as we're concerned, it's crap. They're not talking to us. They're just taking things, cherry picking. I mean, back in 2018, when he first came to our neighborhood board, he just showed up with a bunch of people and said, "Hi, I'm Joy Hussein, and I'm here, and I'm just here to tell you I bought this land, and I might be doing some stuff like nature trails. What do you guys think?" So, we shared our comments with him. Then he took that and put that into the original application, basically saying we recommended stuff. So they lie. We didn't recommend anything. The board took no position on this. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
clarifying. I appreciate it.
Okay, Dana online. Go ahead, Dana.
Sorry, the question that I have is in regards to have any endangered species been identified, whether fauna or flora?
Yes, Board Member Newman. Yes, there are endangered both flora and fauna in the area.
And what is the responsibility to government to protecting those that kupuna?
That's a good question. That's what we're pushing for with the government, is to say we need to protect these because he owns the land. He was supposed to do these studies. One was on the Pueo, and we can't find any of these studies, and we've asked DPP for copies of them.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, next person in line. Go ahead, in person.
I just wanted to thank everybody for coming together, both the North Shore community and our Wai'anae community. My husband is a reforestation expert, so the mountain area is shared. It is Wai'anae Mountains, and so I think this is the only way that we can really address and prevent it from happening there, but also here. So thank you guys for that.
Thank you. Go ahead. Step to the mic.
Aloha, Blessing Star Dela Cruz. I wanted to put it on record. As diplomat of Kohawaii Pa'aina, I want to thank the board for allowing this opportunity for me to hear on this project. And as diplomat of Kohawaii Pa'aina, I object and do not want this project to go forward. And I'm putting it on record. Mahalo.
Thank you. Salcedo will be Miss Salcedo will be the last one.
Kalei Salcedo. We all know this is going to come over our mountains. We all know that. This is the time our community got to come to support and stand up. For once, stand up for protecting our side, protecting our mokus all over the islands. We are not benefiting from any of this outside entities. You either stand as one and don't divide each other, because that's a different moku. We're all in it together. When Ohana comes from the other side, reaches out to Ohana to our side for the help, it's up to us to answer their call. They're calling. Now it's our turn to answer it and say it out ole. Enough is enough. Gentrification has been going on the island. It's up to all of you folks to spread the word and come together as one. Family had called Ohana. We here in the Wai'anae Moku, the whole 96792 is our diligent responsibility to answer when Ohana needs help. Let's do it and gather together.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. Go ahead.
Chair, just really quickly, just wanted to let everyone know that we do have an active petition on change.org. There's actually two, but the one that's still running right now is under Kukia'i Ka'ala. Between the two petitions, we have about 8,000 signatures so far, but we're going to keep it open as we progress with different boards. We also have Kupa'a Ka'ala Alliance on Facebook and Instagram, where we'll be uploading updates. But right now, we're going to, probably by tomorrow, in a couple days, we're going to have the request that DPP gave us for anyone to comment on the modification application, and that is due by October 23rd. We encourage anyone that's willing to just send in whatever comments or testimony you'd like. And then also we'll be posting information on different rallies that we'll be doing, because we did one and we had a great outcome. We had some of you guys from the West Side came out, and the developer's comment was, oh, only a little bit. So my goal is to line up that entire place, and I'm gonna let them know who's there. So those are the areas you can follow us, and our email's also on there in case there's any question, but we'll also forward you info, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate the presentation. So at this time, the Wai'anae Coast Neighborhood Board number 24, resolution asking the city and county of Honolulu to deny and revoke conditional use permits of Kaukunahua Ranch LLC's Kamananui project on the slopes of the Wai'anae Mountains in the Moku of Waialua. This out. Ooh. Be it resolved that the Wai'anae Coast Neighborhood Board number 24 respectfully requests that the Department of Planning and Permitting deny the request for these modifications and revoke the original conditional use permit minor as the Kamananui project, even as originally conceived, far exceeds accessory use on agricultural land, and the applicant has not met the conditions of the original permit in the 6 years it has been in effect. Be it further resolved that the Wai'anae Coast Neighborhood Board number 24 submit this resolution to Hawaii State Governor Josh Green, Senator Samantha DeCourt, Representative Chris Muraoka, Mayor Richard Blangiardi, City Councilwoman Andrea Tupola, with a respect to urge the Department of Planning and Permitting Director Don Takeuchi Apuna to deny and revoke further development on Mauna Ka'ala at Kaukonahua Ranch effective immediately.
Yo.
So now we're gonna do a voice vote. Is there any opposition? Joe Jordan, go ahead.
Chair, I think somebody from the board needs to make the motion, so I will make the motion that we support this resolution.
Second.
Coco, who was that you?
Hi, was me.
Thank you.
Is there any objection to the resolution? Hearing none, it has been adopted.
Chair, don't we have to vote on it too?
Okay, now we're gonna do community, I'd like to entertain the motion to allow our officials to do their reports first before we do community concerns. Somebody gotta make a motion. Oh, sure, go.
So I move that we change to allow our officials to report first.
Chair,
Yes.
I'm sorry, going back to the last item, don't we board member Jordan had an motion and I second it, but do we still have to vote on that passing a resolution or agreeing to the resolution?
Nobody had objection.
Board Member Vahilani, Chair Wai'anae mentioned or brought up and asked if there was any objections, and hearing none, it made the vote unanimous of who was present with the board. If you want to go back and have a vote, just to clarify for the record, we can.
I just thought I just thought automatically that we would have voted on that, but that's fine. If it's, it's fine with me.
Okay, thank you. So we're, I think it was Kakaohua? No. I didn't do that.
Just to clarify with the
So when Chair Sabaenga was reading out the support for the resolution, and then Board Member Joe Jordan
I
stepped in.
second that motion.
Okay.
No, she had put a motion, and I had seconded it, and so I just was wondering if we vote on it too,
Okay.
because I know we have done that in the past. So that was my question.
Okay. So we're moving the agenda up on the officials' reports first. So Mayor Rick Blangiardi's representative, are you online?
Yes, hello. This is Dawn Apuna.
Go ahead.
Hi. So I have one issue to follow up on. Makaha Valley Development. Are there permits for the development of Makaha Golf and Resort LLC located at TMK 842, parcel 51 and 75? A resident shared there are allegedly no permits for the construction and development despite work already beginning for the presumed 105 resort short-term rentals. So DPP's response is that a civil engineering branch inspector conducted a site visit on August 26, 2025, which revealed grading work without a permit. As such, a verbal stop work order was given to the contractor and a written notice of violation will be issued to the owners. That's all I have, but I'm here for any questions. Thank you.
Any questions for in-person? Come to the mic, please.
Aloha, Don. It's Pikachu. How are you? Obviously, you heard the whole thing from BOW and the gondola stuff. And obviously, I want to ask you, I'm not going to tell you anything, but can you please deny the conditional use permit just based on everything you heard from the Wai'anae Neighborhood Board and everything? Can you please give a response? Thank you.
Thank you, Pikachu. Yes, so we received the application for minor modification of the conditional use permit. And so we have like a 45-day window to process that request. There'll be opportunity for the public to provide their input and we'll review that, including, what we received from the neighborhood board today, which I understand is a resolution. And then from there, we will render our decision. But I definitely appreciate all the information that was shared today on that project.
We have Johnny May online. Go ahead, Johnny May.
Okay, thank you. Don, what's the deadline? You said 45 days, so what's the deadline?
You know what? I gotta check with the planners, but I think we received it late last month, so about a month and a half out, October, so mid-November. But I can check and get back to the board.
Okay, also, I want to thank the mayor for participating in the Aloha Floral Parade and also Jeffrey. And for the small SMA major and minor present to the neighborhood board, Parks and Rec, to help with the water, if they could water the parks before 9 a.m. as suggested by BWS, and if they could put covering on the swimming pool to prevent evaporation. And if when the CARES, the CARES program regarding the environmental services, when it roll out, if they could do a presentation, the Wai'anae Neighborhood Board. And lastly, do you need a permit to remodel kitchen and bathroom? Thank you, Don. Yes or no?
Well, for kitchen, it depends. Like if you're moving electrical and plumbing, yes. But if it's just kind of replacement of cabinets and that kind of thing, probably not. But, we would just ask that you, consult with us on the specific project and then we can give you better guidance.
Okay, thank you, Don.
Okay, go ahead in person.
Thank you, Chair. Gary Shinsato. Thank you, Director, for taking time off your busy schedule. I just got a couple of questions. Let's say I had a property, doesn't matter what the size is, but it's zone P1, preservation restricted. Is there any way that other zoning can get on that same piece of property besides P1, let's say ag or P2? Is that possible? Knowing that it's preservation restricted, you cannot build anything on the property.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can look more closely at what P1 allows. I think it might allow some types of ag uses, but you might have to do some rezoning to get it into the right type of zoning for whatever your intended purposes are. But we
Okay.
can look specifically at your property and let you know.
Okay, one last question. Say that piece of property, I wanted to subdivide and just take a portion of that property. Does the P1 zoning carry over to that? Because, you know, it's a small part of a whole. Or can I subdivide and rechange the thing to ag or residential or urban?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds kind of, we'd have to look at it exactly like what the property is. But it sounds like if you would have to do some kind of rezoning to change the actual zoning. And there's a lot of different factors for a subdivision. Again, I would just ask, and you can email me and we can look more closely at what you're trying to do and give you more guidance.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Can I make an announcement that can we stick to one question and then we can circle back if there's more time, but if we can stick to one question per person. Thank you.
Hello, Don. This is Austin Salcedo speaking right now. It's assigned this Thursday for notification for the KL Beach Park, and Friday is for the SPO. Can you have the mayor assigned other entities besides HPD for this SPO regarding like the Humane Society to be present there, and also to adhere to the Hawaii Revised Statute 704814 because of blocking of public access to the ocean and a lot of trashing in our undeveloped side of KL Beach Park continuously. And they vandalized the gates, the cattle gates that we volunteers, SureCan had installed 3 times had been vandalized. And at the bridge, the first bridge after KL's, to isolate the water along that bridge that's connected with the garrison that's provided by the Army. So we need to isolate that. We need to disable the water, the misuse of the water usage at that area, at the bridge, because they're washing cars, you name it. So we can enable them by having a water spigot there. They should be isolated by the Army garrison. So can you reach out to the mayor and have this thing done? Because Friday is the SPO. It should be. Too many times this year, again, we had SPOs there, and it's ever revolving. Can you please do that, Don, to the mayor and management directors?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Go ahead.
Aloha, Kalei Salcedo. Don, I do have a suggestion and a solution for the undeveloped part of Cal. You know, we talk about maintenance group, yeah? The city had never, DPR had never maintained the undeveloped side. Protectors of Paradise have been doing it for years with the help of the committee and the Army, the garrison. If the city cannot maintain that park, please, city and county is the leasee. State owns that. Okay, that 38.5 acres. If the city cannot maintain it, please tell me, give it back to the state. Because we cannot allow the aiding and abetting that the city is doing, because it's the safety, public safety, community safety to walk down on the beaches when Kukai cans are there, needles are there, baggies are there, drug addiction is going on, drug dealings, we all know that, okay? Don't put a blindfold on, tell the mayor. He said, what the committee and you can do. Well, we've been doing our best. Now we're asking the mayor, give it back to the state. And then the state handler, Department of Law Enforcement will make sure they implemented the law that's on their parks to start with. So stop aiding and abetting, tell the mayor, give it back to the state. Mahalo.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Dana online. Dana, go ahead.
The question that I have is in regards to earlier statements by the one of the board members, Nani Peterson, in regards to a ticket that was issued to individuals who were cited for camping in a public space, I guess at Pukahi or Malaya. I just want to ask the definition of camping. What does that look like for individuals who may meet the requirements of being beneficiaries, meeting the requirements of blood quantum and blood quantum? What is the responsibility for the city to kind of allow for traditional practices to occur within these public spaces?
Oh, thank you. That was a good question. I'll take it back to the city and the various departments that are involved and try to get you some information.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to Council Member District 1, Tupola. Okay, go ahead. Kiko.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, good evening, Chair and Board. Kika here. I just want to first excuse Councilmember Tupola and myself for not being there in person. But I just want to report a few things that had passed in the committee, this last committee. So we have a core audit ordinance. This is just to audit the core department, just their funding and what they have, so that we can possibly add or expand to other outreach entities in the city. And then we have Resol 2522, which is urging Police Commission to improve the selection of the chief. And then Bill 62, which is the Veterans of 65 and plus registration fee change. Those three ordinances were passed in the committee and should be open for hearing in the next council. Other than that, we don't have anything to follow up from last meeting, but I'm open for any questions.
Go ahead, in person. Step up to the mic.
Hi, Kika. I was hoping Andrew will be adhering to this. I'm still, there was a letter, June 3rd, 2025, regarding rise status under the governor's emergency proclamation. Okay, it was not this letter, it was addressed to me on June 3rd. And it was said it was the emergency proclamation was actually not done appropriately by the state, John Mizuno. And this was concerning reiterating information by June Yang. So with this said by Andrew Tupola addressing this, today, this was June 3rd now, and this is already in October. We still don't have an appeals letter to city DPP. Nothing was generated from her office all these months. So it looks like I'm going to have to revert to asking our state legislature to assist with this appeals regarding to for having June Yang to send the appeals letter to the city DPP to revoke the authorization and bypassing the city DPP, the conditional use permit. So it's been too long already. So I'm going to let Angela know that I'm reaching out to our state legislators that represents our area. Okay? Let's see if this is formal information to you folks. Thank you. I'm coming out with a letter, by the way.
Thank you. Go ahead, Pikachu.
Aloha, Kika. How are you? Pikachu shall be billionaire.
Hello.
Great to see you. You know, I can see you, Andrea, all on Instagram. I see a lot of stuff. So I just want to bring it up straight up. You know, I don't got time to BS all of you. With the good footage, because I gotta start with compliments first. The Instagram video with her, Andrea, and Darius Keto looks good for the Kola Pass, you know, the back open road. But I know a lot of people were a part of that with Patty Tarulia, Nanakuli Board, and other stuff, but you're not really recognizing the people who are doing behind the scenes. And then when people Google the Empower Hawaii or Tupolo Foundation, some people's names come up on the DCCA, and to me that's a conflict of interest of how you're laundering and cleaning money. Because I can make any foundation myself, and I'm just gonna say straight up, OHA, when I talk to Kaikaele, has $15,000 for any Lahui event with a 501c3 nonprofit. Doesn't matter. I clean the ocean, I do anything. I can start one now for $275, $25 pay the DCCA in the state of Hawaii, but it's going to take 6 months. So I can't qualify for the money, but I want people to be straight up and honest. So anyone who's Hawaiian can qualify for this to make any Lahui event from April through June. You have until December 1st. It came on October 1st because Kai already said it. We filmed it. It's on Olelo TV. So I would like everyone to be more straightforward moving forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pikachu. We have Johnny May online. Johnny May, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Congratulations, first of all, to Kimmy on getting elected to the board. And I'm glad to hear that you're very forward in your opinion. Thank you very much. Also, I want to thank Jeffrey for participating in the Aloha Flora Parade. The neighborhood board sworn in to uphold the city and county rules. I am very concerned when Kathleen wanted to come forward in the November board meeting to do a presentation, and the presentation was then intercepted. Now, neighborhood board is for city issue and represent the city and not personal interests. So please follow the rules of the neighborhood board. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Aloha, Kalei Sausero. This is council office, yeah? I mean, and who's responding to that? Is it Kika?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Aloha, Kalei Sausero. Kika, you know, the 96792, like I have been mentioning in both boards, Nanakuli and Wai'anae, contains a Kaihi point all the way to Kaihena point, okay? I'm still waiting for certain resolutions have passed it. It's incomplete. You know, it's incomplete. You talk about the 3 R's, safety, community input. We have been putting inputs a lot. But I need you to go back to Andrea. She needs to step up her game. Okay? She needs to step up because we on a back burner being promised so much. We're not running for office. Okay? And the thing is, you're going to run for mayor. If you cannot handle just this little district of 96792, what makes you think you're going to handle the whole island?
Auntie Kalei, can we not do attacking, please? I really appreciate
Exactly.
that.
I want answers. I'm talking to the councilwoman.
I understand that, but you are in some instance attacking her. Please refrain.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just step up your game because I'm not trying to attack. But the part is, our side cannot be on a back burner anymore. We need to be heard. The whole 96792 from Kai Point to Kaihena Point. Okay? We need to be heard. We're not going to be silent. Maybe some might be silent, but we're not going to be because too much adding and abetting has been going on. That's all I'm saying.
Do you have a question for her?
The question is, when are you going to complete your resolutions that's incomplete?
Fair enough.
That's the question.
Thank you. Is anybody else in person want to speak? I'm going to go back online. Johnny May, go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Chair. When I spoke, I thought we were unconcerned. My apologies. I just wanted to thank the council member for bringing over the Umeke La'au at Kapole Hale. That came from Honolulu Holly to Kapolei for us to view. And also if she could pass a resolution to remove illegal vehicles parked on public streets. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Kika. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We're moving on to Governor Green's rep, Diamond. Moving on to Senator Samantha DeCourt.
Good evening, Chair, board members. Congratulations, board member. We welcome you on the neighborhood board, and thank you for your commitment to serve. Samantha DeCourt, so I have a few updates. Last month when I was here, I shared with you some updates about the 3 sirens that were inoperable. So since then, 2 of the sirens have been repaired. The one in Nanakuli right across from Princess Kahanu, the siren went off on October 1st, so that one is working. Then the one down at, Mokua side, okay, that one is working also now. And then the one that's left is the one in front of Lahi Lahi. So that one will be repaired on Monday, and I'll update the board as soon as that's done. I just wanted to remind everybody that Pa'akea Road is open. So just wanted to thank all of our elected officials, but most importantly, the neighborhood boards. You know, this was generated long before any of us were elected. So I just wanted to make sure that the neighborhood boards and the community, they get the credit that you folks deserve. OMPO, transportation, you folks has really had your hands on this. Even though it is in Nanakuli Ma'ili, we all feel the relief of the congestion when we can open up those access roads. We are continuing to work with Department of Transportation to extend the 5th lane. So that is probably the next project that will be able to successfully give some relief here on the Wai'anae coast. And then just a reminder that November 27th, the residents at Pu'uhonua will be moving from the boat harbor up Mauka. They're building the homes as quickly as they can. There's a lot of progress that's being made. And so we're already starting our cleanup efforts at the boat harbor. But other than that, I'll go ahead and open up for questions.
Anybody get question? Okay, come up to the mic.
Hello, my Kako. Pikachu Shelby Division, just for the record. So I do have a deep concern, and let me give compliments first before I get to the questions. I only got 57 seconds. So thank you for everything that you do. But I did send stuff because I'm going to talk about Jasmine Ikeda, who's currently held hostage in Israel Desert Prison. And I did email Maisie Hirono, Brian Schatz, Ed Case, Jill Takuda, and all the Washington people, because I want our U.S. hostages and Jasmine Ikeda to come back home. And because we're publicly live, I know maybe a month or so ago, you and the GOP, Diamond Garcia, David Alcos, Garner Shimizu, and some Democrats went to Israel. So can you please give us an update of how can we help rescue Jasmine Ikeda, who was born in Hawaii, Poipu in Kauai, and get our U.S. citizens and Hawaiian people back home?
Thank you for that. So for the record, we want all the hostages released. So let me just open up and say that to be very clear on both sides, that we want all hostages released. But it was a very productive time being able to go up to Israel. I'm not sure if most of you are aware of this, but Israel really leads the nation in their agricultural efforts when it comes to drip irrigation, a lot of farming up there. So a lot of innovative strategies that we can use here on the Wai'anae coast. And so also they're leading the globe when it comes to desalinization as well. So there are a lot of tools and techniques and strategies that would benefit us here in Wai'anae, and I'm continuing to have those discussions on the state level. So thank you. Go ahead.
Hello, Senator. As I mentioned to earlier community concerns to Andrew Tupola's representative, because of the lengthiness of not responding with appeals regarding a June 3rd, 2025 letter from Andrea saying that the governor's emergency proclamation made by John Mizuno given to RISE, Residential Youth Services and Empowerment, an operation that came in from Texas. They found its way to the Hawaiian Islands, now trying to border land up in Nohulio Road in Makaha. So the lengthiness of this letter and not the right protocols and process of due process of the government's emergency proclamation. That's what it states inside his letter. I'll bring this to your attention, but what we need is for the replacement of John Mizuno is now Jun Yang. I need a letter telling Jun Yang, because based on what he had dictated with Andrew Tupola, it was not done correctly, the government emergency proclamation. We're going to have to send an appeals to Don Takauchi Apuna, the director of DPP, to overturn that decision was made prior, authorizing rights to operate on Nohulio Road. We need an appeal to be implemented on that. Would you allow me to come to the office and share this with you and to have this thing done? Thank you.
Yeah, and just for the record, I've continued to take a stand with the RISE building that's being built on Nohulio Road. That could have been done better, and we've expressed this to the executive board there, that they should have really talked to the residents first instead of moving forward and purchasing a property in a very high-level residential area. It just, unfortunately, they did it the wrong way, but the solution to that is not allowing them to just keep making the same mistake over and over again. So I've stood behind the community in the stand against continuing to build this in a residential area without community or neighbor input. And I'd be more than willing to put that in writing and support that on the state level in my capacity. So of course.
Okay, we have Johnny May online. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, thank you for providing funding for the washer and dryer for Wai'anae Elementary School. I attended the SEC meeting last month. The principal also said they're having breakdown problem with their AC. Now, getting back to the SNAP, Medicaid, Medicare cutbacks, what your thoughts on how it impacts 96792? Thank you.
Yeah, so with regards to the SNAP benefits, my understanding is that there will be a reduced amount on an individual level of $11 a month and $34 a month with a family unit. So to go more into detail, I'm not really too sure. Department of Health, DHS would probably be the best to get that if you were looking for more clarity, but that's what I know right off the top.
Thank you. Now we have Dina online. Dina, go ahead.
Hi, Senator. Just wanted to ask in terms of the movement to the Pu'uhonua. So that aina there is probably part of the, 5F lands or ceded lands that, serves 5 purposes, or revenues generated should serve 5 purposes, one being your Kanaka community. And so what are your plans or your vision for that space for the Hawaiian people to generate the most revenue? Because it also includes Uluvehi. So are we going to begin discussions on how we're going to plan for that area?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So right now we are currently in the process of Department of Education acquiring those parcels so they can use that to further their aquaponics programs, planting native trees programs. So right now we are in the process and coming close to the Department of Education signing off to acquire that property so we can use it for educational purposes.
So just a follow up to that statement, we've had a lot of discussion about from your office about how DOE is not providing these kinds of educational spaces for our community, but yet we're going to support them acquiring additional lands that should benefit all Kanaka in Wai'anae. So how do we become involved participants in deciding how we're going to utilize Aina in our community?
So I can share your concerns with Department of Education, but there's two reasons why we're supporting Department of Education in acquiring these properties. Number one, because of its proximity to the high school and also to the intermediate, it being right across the street. And they do have a growing program when it does come to their aquaponics, forestry, and those kinds of ocean programs. So we want to continue to support them in that effort. And the second thing, and probably the most important thing, is that once DOE acquires those properties, then nobody can trespass ever again. So if anybody feels like maybe they want to come back to those parcels and live on those parcels, they cannot. So Department of Education is one of the only state agencies. It's hard just in general to trespass on state property. But is one of the where there's no tolerance whatsoever for trespassing. So we're in a transition right now where the residents at Pu'uhonua are going to be moving up Mauka. I mean, they have great places and spaces that they're going to be moving into, and some of the houses that are being built are just amazing. I mean, it's incredible. And so, because of this transition, we want to make sure that we continue to safeguard our public spaces. There's a lot of vandalized equipment that is at the boat harbor that we also need to repair once that transition is moved up. And our boaters really need to receive their resources back. A lot of the areas where they used to wash their boats, residents are using it for other reasons. So we are in that process for that reason as well. But I'm sure that Department of Education is going to be open. But right now, that's where we are close to to acquiring those particular parcels. So.
Okay.
Again, taking Aina away from your Hawaiian community is not, again, if you're going to put it under DOE, yeah, how do I begin a conversation with you about
Yeah,
this?
and just to be clear, let me just answer this and we can move on. But to be clear, that property has been taken away, just so we're clear from the community. And we need to get that back into the hands of the community and restore the areas that have been lived by the residents there for decades. So we can move on to the next question. You're more than welcome to call me. We can have a discussion offline, but at this point, that particular parcel has been taken and Wai'anae residents aren't even able to use it. So we're in the process of restoring it, but a lot of work has to be done.
Okay,
we
we'll
have one-
reach out to you.
No, you can go ahead.
Aloha, Kalei Saucedo. First of all, I'd like to thank you because a lot of people's been complaining about the harbor side, and now we have someone is responding to the call. Now we have differences, okay, differences. But the part is, if that parcel of land at the boat harbor can go back to our educational, where the kids, they can turn around, put the salt water coming in and do, the limo and everything. So those are things that can be used. That parcel of land, it's state. It's state. Now we need to educate our kids, at least give them the hope and let them plant what. But I just hope and pray before you folks open this to the Department of Education, you need to air out that area. You need to air out because if you folks have passed by or been there, I've been there, I deliver clothes, from my heart, I give because there's a lot of unfortunate one. But the part is, darn if you do and darn if you don't. So you have two sides of the fence, one gonna agree and the other one will disagree. But
Auntie Kalei, can
it
we
is
get to the
our
question?
honor. The question I have is, how long is it gonna take? And what is the timeline? And because a lot of the community cannot use. My husband went out on a boat. The tires was getting ripped. So when this transmission of the property being taken over, is the Department of Law Enforcement going to be involved? Because that is state. It's not a city. It's state land. Is Department of Law Enforcement going to be involved?
Okay, good question. Thank you so much. Yes, Department of Law Enforcement is involved and they are abreast the movement that's taking place, but also so is DoCare as well. So we have our state agencies that are really keeping this top of mind. And I will say that once the residents have moved out Mauka, it's going to take a while before we can think about doing anything with that property right now, even as far as Department of Education is concerned. So they're going to have to wait. How long, I won't know until the move out actually happens, and then we're going to know really what we're in for. And at that point, I would be more than happy to continue to update the neighborhood board as we continue to make progress. So thank you for that question.
Okay, Mr. Collins, you'll be the last one. Thank you.
I'll make it fast. I want to thank you very much for helping to open up the access road. It's been many, many, many years in the making. When I first sat on this board with Mr. Endo, Richard Lanford, we all are the ones that were involved in tracking down or routing out the emergency access road. And this was a long time coming, and I appreciate it. Now that it's open, I hope they're going to monitor the speed limits on that road, because it's a straightaway, and you know, there's going to get people that are going to be speeding on that road.
Thank you for that. And again, with the success of opening up Pa'akea Road, I do want to give that success and victory over to the neighborhood boards. That was long before any of us were elected. So I just want to make sure that a lot of the discussions and movement that happens here at the board level does reach at the state level. And as a result of that, we have an access road that is going to give us more relief. So I just want to encourage everybody that is serving. Thank you so much for serving. And it is playing a big part in making this real-time success for our 96792. So thank you, Chair and board members. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Senator. Next up is State Representative Chris Moroka.
Hey, Chair, can you put me first next time? I gotta follow that whole thing, man. I feel inadequate when I give reports.
They're gonna ask
after.
you less questions.
So, good evening, everybody. Those of you who are in person, those of you I cannot see online, good evening. Man, I was very encouraged coming here tonight. They've had one open parking stall. That means our community is starting to slowly get it. That's an encouraging thing. We come in here, I don't know if because the room's smaller, but we have to bring out an extra rack of chairs. That signs that our community is slowly starting to make that turn. I don't have much this month, just a couple of follow-ups. I do, if you guys remember last month, I do owe our senator some kudos, because I said they wouldn't get those Haima sirens did. She pushed them through. And when we get stuff like that, only the community wins. So again, Senator, amazing job. Thank you. Let's hope they get that one over here by the high school done next, yeah? I know last month I gave report, we're working on the fire breaks, DHHL, they have found the contractor. They're right now going through procurement to award and get him to go behind Lehoku Elementary and then the homes over there behind Lehoku. I do want some clarification. The owners of the golf course in Makaha do not own the land bordering the elementary school and those houses. We did find out who does. It's a company called MMM 88 LLC. Super nice lady, spoke to her briefly on the phone, working with some people that she's gonna hire to clear. So there is progress made on that. We can get the fire breaks in Makaha done as well, give those people some peace of mind. We're still working on the Uluvehi deal. That's a big deal. We have a joint HHFDC meeting on Friday. We had Rep Kila, myself, and HHFDC for Helilua as well as Uluvehi, and the lease is coming up. Everybody knows that. I know it was brought up earlier. I think it was either Nani and it might have been Dana. I'm, I fell asleep 3 times in this meeting, kind of long, yeah. But I am working with the LNR, waiting to come back because what Dana had said, excuse me, what Nani, or I apologize, Dana and Nani, which one of you guys had said it? We're taking it very seriously. We're working with the LNR as well as Mr. Keela and his Chris, about putting identification over there. Yeah, the skull was found. Everybody know the skull was found, so we need to identify that area and stop the back and forth all around. Not very much. I did attend a Kapuna Council meeting. I thought it was pretty good. I will be attending more. I'm on this new mission. My office has this new mission that we're gonna try and, one thing that we know in Wai'anae is we have so much people in Wai'anae that share the same end goal, which is a better Wai'anae. So my mission, I'm gonna challenge everybody, starting with myself. Let's all figure out how to make Wai'anae better. Let's all collaborate on how to make Wai'anae better without worrying about who gets credit for it. Because if we can do that, we will immediately fix a lot of our problems. That's my challenge to this community. And I'll take some questions. Uh-oh. Somebody hold her stick.
All right, let you go. So mahalo for having me. I'm Steph. I'm part of the Mahukapuna Council and the court, and you guys are the most energetic politician I've seen in a shitload of time. And I'm a Democrat. But what you're doing is awesome. How you talking it, you walking it, to me is the shit. My concern is I'm very passionate about the homeless kids in this hood. If we stop rot, they're going to join the shark group. And I'm sorry, I thought I was loud enough on Portuguese. So my concern about RISE, they may have not followed all the protocol and crossed the T's and dotted their I's. However, where are these keiki going to go? We're going to throw them back on the beach. We're going to throw them back with the shark boys. These two titters found someplace to buy and something to do. So is there a way to work with them to rectify what they did wrong? And if we cannot build them in that street, why we still get the dump? Why isn't there a big stink about the goddamn dump? Right? Where are we going to put these kids need a home? And these kids are from the friggin' west side. They're not from Waimanalo and Kahalu. They're from the west side. Plenty of us in here, I'm going to make it short and quick. Plenty of us in here were raised with the same parents. Our kids were raised with the same parents. However, these kids that are hopeless, homeless, and lost, they're thrown away like somebody's rubbish. So what we're going to do, where we're going to put them, if Noholio doesn't work, what is the friggin' solution is all I'm saying. They did something wrong, let's help them fix it. If Noholio ain't it, where they going? The shark boys are waiting because that's recruitment. They're going to bring more kids onto there. We're going to get more guns, more violence, because these kids are like every kid in every city. They got no place safe to go. And the only family they get is the gangs. That's it.
Thank you, Auntie.
Man, somebody check her ID. She might be in Morioka. You hear how she talk? So, Auntie, Samantha, if I may, Auntie, I think Sam and I, Senator and I, we share the same passion. We share the same love for Wai'anae. And to answer your question, I think, and Sam, correct me if I'm wrong, we support RISE. We just don't support RISE on Noholio Road. Yeah, and I've sat down with Carla Hauser several times. Carla can attest to this. And we said, Carla, maybe put the property up for sale and look at other locations. The program, I agree. And Senator, we agree that we need programs for our kids. Council members working on that as well. It's just the location, the elderly, the lack of sidewalks, the lack of lights. It's just the location. No, I don't think, that's not the answer either, right? But, you are absolutely correct, but I do want to say One thing that you was a little bit wrong on, and man, you holistic, I never like correct you over here. But with Rise, this is my, I'm against No Julio Road, but my only heartache against Rise building in the community is she couldn't and she cannot. When I say she, I'm talking about Carla Hauser. Because they accept federal funds, they cannot discriminate. And I asked her, and because when I was sitting on a board, a lot of Mr. Endo, you guys remember, she came, she presented, and I asked her point blank because I care. Can you guarantee? And I asked this question to every new person, community, whatever it is, corporation. Can you guarantee you're going to benefit only people from Wai'anae? We know like you built something out here to bring outside in. For far too long, we've been doing that. For far too long, we've been doing that. We're not the trash bag. And I'm going to touch on the, rubbish dump real quick. Yes. So I'm going to touch on the rubbish dump real quick. I learned just recently, and I'm looking into it, that under the Mufi Hanneman era, we had a CBP, Community Benefits Package from the dump. That has since gone away. So I'm looking into how can we revive, get that back moving. You notice I don't have fancy words, yeah? But we're trying to look for how we can get that back because we bear the burden of the whole island with that rubbish dumps. So they owe us something. They really do. And we're going to try to fight for get that back. It was out there and we're just going to try to bring them back.
Okay, thank you. Johnny May, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you. I went to Wai'anae Elementary SEC meeting and you have provided washer and dryer for Wai'anae Elementary. The AC kind of going on the blank. And have you received any feedback from the community regarding them facing the cuts from SNAP and Medicaid and Medicare benefits? Thank you.
Quick answer is no. Quick answer is no. I know there's a lot of things being said, but I don't deal in rumors. I don't deal in he said, she said, deal in just strict facts. As far as the AC, that's very disheartening knowing that our state would spend 120 million on ACs and we get an AC problem out here. Again, I'll say, where'd the money go?
Okay, go ahead in person. Go ahead.
Aloha, Kalesa Cero. We've been hearing about this rise for quite a while. But if you had took the appropriate step in coming to the residents, not going to an entity that divided the community and the residents. I'm not going to mention an entity. You folks know who you are. The way is to find Pono. It's not to divide your community. So I'm not against rice. I am against the location where it's at. I am against the way they had approached a kupuna who opened her house with F-bombs dropping. That is not Pono. She opened her doors. Her Holly will have this meeting, not once, several times. But you disrespected the kupuna. That is heaven. The kupuna built the house from the bottom up. No street lights, no nothing. And the other thing, you got to remember, you get federal grant. That federal grant was granted. Federal grant, Mr. Morioka, was granted for Kailua property. Why isn't anybody searching?
And Nicole,
and
can
let
you wrap up your
searching.
question for
Anybody
Morioka,
searching,
please?
why did the federal grant come to Wai'anae? $3 million when that was supposed to be approved for Kailua. Okay, well, they spent it $3
We
million
cannot have
here.
side conversation, sorry.
Okay, so the answer is who turn around and traces the money that Juti Kuda gives and make sure purchase one out of property. And the part is to find Pono, we got to work with Pono. not just shove it down to the residents' mouth or the residents, surrounding residents, and said, take it or leave it, because we're on different entity.
Auntie Calais, let him answer the question, please.
That's my question.
Thank you.
Well, there's a lot to take in, but I can tell you one thing. You did remind me of something I didn't know. I didn't say earlier. With that, follow the money and who and the answer right now, as I stand in front of you, is I don't know. But I want to reassure you, and my office manager is sitting right there. We did reach out. We have a list of every single nonprofit dealing with homelessness, and I will be requesting an official audit of them all. Because out here on the coast, the only thing that went up is homelessness and nonprofits. Nothing went down. I have reached out, gotten all the names, and I will be requesting official audits to follow up. Pikachu, your turn. Pikachu, your turn.
You know what? We got to move on because we still have a lot on the agenda and we have community concerns to deal with. Mr. Endo, you'll be the last one. Sorry, we got to move on. Go ahead, Mr. Endo.
So Chris, I know you don't like it, but Wai'anae Elementary School said thank you for all the stuff you did for them. But I do have a favor for you and Samantha. They do have a problem they want to try to solve. So they don't want to, the kids are dropped off on that street on the side. So what they want to do to make it safe, because you have other cars always going, they want to make a road onto the campus so the bus can drive on campus from that road onto the campus and then exit toward the other side of the campus. They have kind of a situation. The other thing, since you mentioned about the Hoko, I went to the SEC. Maybe you can help them. I told them I'm going to twist you guys on. I had brought this up before. Hawaiian Homes has adjacent property beside water. Maybe you can convince one of those two. They said they need additional parking space.
Yeah,
Because all the stuff going on at the school now, they don't want enough parking space. And I had brought this up before. Oh, how come they don't let you use somebody of their land for something? Maybe you guys can do something.
So here it is in two easy answers. Have Mrs. G call me, and I'll be happy to help her. We're helping Mr. Kepka over at Kamaili, possibly with a new parking lot. And the golden rule, and you know you broke it. What I do in community, I do because I give from the heart. I know like recognition. I know like you guys tell, thank you. Just let it be done. You know, it's being done. It's my way of giving back. But yeah, have Mr. G call me. We can definitely work on. And I don't see DHHL say no to the extra parking lot. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rep. Now we're going to go on to community concerns. Come to the mic.
So I wanted to share, I will be presenting at the Nanakuli Neighborhood Board. I work for the Department of Education and I oversee the Homeless Concerns Liaisons team. The way we calculate students who are identified as houseless, we do by year. So at the end of school year 24-25, we ended at 435. These are families that are self-identified. We are currently right now at to date at 400. So every school year you reset. And so we're at 400 right now. So I know the question was specific to, have we seen impacts regarding Medicaid or those SNAP benefits? I believe fully that that is a result of some of those impacts. Solution focused. So we provide a ton of resources, not a whole lot. It's really like a drop in the bucket, but I'm looking forward to sharing possibly with your board as well. We'll be sharing with the Nanakuli Neighborhood Board because we need the community support. And so we're looking forward to working together. We only have 2 homeless concerns liaisons that service all 9 schools. We have 400 students, but in those families, it's multiplied. And so it's heavy. And so we thank you guys all who are here working to support our community. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Pikachu Shelby Billionaire back for community concerns. I know it's been almost 9 o'clock. We can't be here forever. My timer is already clicking down for 1 minute and 50 seconds. So I already brought up a lot of issues, which is why we do this before, which is why we're already used to this system from city council and everything. And we do have some agenda items which we haven't properly addressed. I don't want to waste all of your guys' time, but what we're getting is to how can we collaborate and work together to get stuff done? Because the bills, in Capitol Hill is going to come in January, and we have the Onipa'a March, everything on January 17th, right? But we have North Shore here, we have other people, and it is hot as hell. I don't know why they cut down the AC for here, because everyone is flying paperwork just like me. Because if it's hot like Wai'anae, it feels like the heat. Bro, you cannot do nothing because it's too hot.
Okay, speed up the question, then it will help. Just saying.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think you guys can answer. How are you going to help the Native Hawaiian people, Kanaka Maoli, to rise up? That's it. Economically, spiritually, physically, and mentally. And there's an acronym called SPERM. Spiritually, physically, emotionally, relationally, and mentally. SPERM. How are you guys going to do it to rise up to counter AIPAC, Israel? How are you going to raise up Jasmine Ikeda? How are you going to get our people back home? What are you guys going to do about it? And that's my question to all of you all. Go on the board, go on everything. What you going to do? If I got kidnapped and by Israel holding me in a desert prison, are you guys going to come rescue me? Are you going to contact Brian Schatz? Are you guys going to do the Mazie Hirono? Are you guys going to do something with Israel? Are you going to negotiate? Because the U.S. has a policy. We don't negotiate with terrorists. So what you guys going to do about the Zionists? That's my question to all of you.
Thank you. Let's go ahead. Johnny May online. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Again, on the correct agenda. Thank you to Jeffrey for participating in the Aloha Week Parade. Mahalo, Kimi, for volunteering on the neighborhood board. Thank you, Rep, for looking into auditing homelessness and nonprofit organization. I do concur with you. Those two items has gone up rather than down. Also, lastly, the board has taken an oath to honor the city issues. So let's keep city issues and on the neighborhood board and not in state community meetings. Thank you, Chair and board.
Go ahead in person.
Blessing Star Dela Cruz, thank you for your time. I wanted to bring this up in regards to RISE. During this process, I was not in the neighborhood board or anything in position as a federal diplomat. I was searching for my son for 7 years and ended up finding him in RISE, the program. Unfortunately, because of my position at that time and so forth, I could not move forward and had to consider professional-wise or parenting-wise. And sometimes, as the boards noticed, I jumped up when it came to that when speaking to regarding my son. To my understanding, at first, when RISE, they were privately funded. So it was difficult to go through city and county and state regulations. Then they moved towards federal funding, which is where we are facing off now, but they already are in that, which of course reignited also with, in position to working with the senators and so forth and whatnot. But me as a parent, my position was that I could not go forward because my child has now become of age of a certain point, which although however, educational wise, mentally, he was not capable, classified as an adult in that structural pinpoint, but I would not go forward to trying to regulate and get possession of him or anything of that sort. I wanted him to continue on. I did, however, look at it, all aspect corners of the position I'm at as a parent and as a community board and of course, as community board. I had to step back because I was asked to keep my mouth shut, basically on it, because other people was going to go forward on it. But as a parent, I'm putting out this as a message. As for those who are using those programs, I for one know those programs do need to exist. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Go ahead, step up to the mic.
Aloha, Kalei Salcedo, once again, you know, you folks are a city operation, NCO. We have a lot of problems concerning the city, you know, but when we bring out some of the issues that we facing within our committee to the board don't have the answer for everything. Let's get it realistic. The board don't have. And sometimes when we ask the board, sometimes the board said, oh, we're going to get back to it. And they don't. I brought so many issues up to the board, the previous board, the past boards, and there's still original board members exist. The issue still wasn't solved. Nothing was brought up, you know? So the city gotta understand the frustration of our community, you know, because we bring up complaints to the NCO. Oh, sometimes, oh, it's only one time. Next time it's not going to happen again. It happened again. Well, next time it's not going to happen again. You know, we had enough of the excuses. We're looking for a solution. And you guys wonder why the community gets pilikel. We don't need that. We've been separated because things is not getting done. Information, we have to implement a lot of things on our city properties for the beaches, no matter what it is. But we gotta face it as a community, not the outsiders. We gotta. So all I'm asking the board is please listen to the community. Don't allow any other entity to separate the community. We gotta work and work together for only in the best interest of the whole 96792. And I also like to encourage the board, conflict of interest. If you had the interest of something and it's a conflict of interest, please remove yourself from voting. Don't let somebody come up here and say that, hey, you cannot testify in that because you're conflict of interest. Be honest to yourself. If there is a conflict of interest, walk away. That's human. Walk away. We all make mistakes. But admit when there's conflict of interest, walk away. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Lena online, go ahead.
Hi, aloha chair. I just wanted to bring up about the canals that is being cleaned up in our moku. And I mahalo you for following up with the emails and the responses that you've been getting from the different elected officials' offices. But can we continue following up and maybe, I don't know if it's having Department of Health come out and address this, because I see them cleaning up the canal by Orange Street too. And it looks like, I don't know. I know we're construction, so I don't really know. But that's one thing. And I just wanted to address the other thing about community separation. Part of the community separation is because people put out false narratives without getting all information. And so it would be in best interest that people hear all sides of the stories before coming up with conclusions. And that's how we can move forward in Pono for community. But I mahalo you board members for stepping in these positions, because the last boards was not effective in what they were doing. And so I hope and pray that we can move forward in what's best, because I believe every single one of you guys are sitting on this board because it's Wai'anae Mai Au and what's best interest for our community. So mahalo nui.
Thank you. Anyone in person? No? I just wanted to take a chair privilege in regards, Lena, to the one by Orange Street. There was actually a paperwork that was done Joe Jordan knows more about it, because I told her about it and she, got some information. But basically that has, paperwork documentation that was gonna be done. Not sure if they notified the community. That might be where the biggest concern is, that the community didn't know about them, doing work over there by Orange Street.
I think the concern is if they're finding contaminations in the sand, rather it be human feces, petroleum, or whatever they're finding, it would be nice if we would have some kind of community update in what's happening on our shorelines. We all eat from the shorelines. And that's why I wanted to mahalo you. That's where I'm coming from. Mahalo you for being active in, reaching out to Joe and getting the answers and following up.
Thank you. Okay, so we don't have any more concerns? Okay, let's move on to the next one. We got the Army Military Official Report.
Mahalo, board, and aloha to the team. I just have a couple updates. I know we're running short on time. There was a question a few weeks ago about a plot of land on MMR that was owned by the Army and not leased. And just following up on that, there is a piece of land in MMR that the Army owns, about 170 acres. And then that land will not come back as of now in 2029. Just wanted to highlight that a land transfer is possible. It's just that piece of land was not part of the formal plan to swap and to return. The second question to follow up on was about cultural artifacts, the process of identifying them. Do we have them in our possession? And is there a process to repatriate them? The U.S. Army Garrison Hawaii does differentiate collections based on the location of items and where they're found and the applicable federal law under which they were collected. The basic distinctions that we use are the installation it came from, who owns it, the federal or the state, whether control of the artifacts are governed, including the National Historic Preservation Act, the Archaeological Resources Protection Act, Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act. But only the Native American Graves Protection artifacts are subject to repatriation, and U.S. Army Garrison Hawaii does not currently have any of those artifacts from MMR Park. The State Department of Land and Natural Resources does have a list of about a dozen artifacts collected from the state, collected from state-owned land of Makua, and they will come back in 2029 when that land is returned. And then the last one, there was a third question that we're following up on. The question was in reference to finding out if there was an opportunity to allow the community to utilize the water line in Makua to cultivate and utilize land in the area for agricultural purposes. The response we got here from U.S. Army Garrison will not use the existing Board of Water Supply water line to Makua Military Reservation to supplement agricultural needs of private or nonprofit entities. The decision that they made is based on a historical declination letter from Board of Water Supply released in February of 23 for a similar request. So U.S. Army Garrison recommends interested parties direct that question to the Board of Water Supply to request assistance for agricultural needs. No, we're short on time. That's all I got for the board and the community tonight, and I'll stand by for any questions.
Go ahead, Pikachu.
Aloha, Lieutenant Colonel Pikachu, Shelby Billionaire, Air Force veteran, 25 years. Thank you for coming aboard. So I want to put up an opportunity for MWR and the Army to make the community build unity in the community for force multiplier morale, because we have the opportunity for OHA to put an event from April through June next year, $15,000 funded for the Lahui. And I would love to challenge the Army for volleyball, pokai bay, something barbecue. So I would like if you could ask command if we can do something next year, somewhere April to June, so we can build unity in the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Pikachu.
Okay, online, Johnny May, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Lieutenant Commander. I just want to go over real briefly this article I found in the paper about HEDSEC, what he mentioned to the top brass. I'm very very disappointed, putting it lightly, because I have 5 generations of military services going back to my grandfather. And I do not like the way that the military is being treated. But in this article, it has America's highest ranking military officers ridiculed and minimized by the starting self-involved television personality, Hesek. Thank you, Lieutenant Commander, for your service and the entire military branch.
Thank you, Johnny Mae.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time. And
Thank
we're
you,
going to
Board.
move on to, okay, board business. For meeting minutes, July 1st. Can I get a motion to approve?
I move that we accept the minutes for Tuesday, July 1st, 2025, and Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025.
Can I get a second?
I second that motion.
Thank you. And then, any objections? And then board business, B, Bravo, C, Charlie, and D, Delta, we're gonna defer those to next month. We're gonna move on to committee reports. Transportation, Lanford. Okay, moving on. Hawaiian Affairs, Kauko'ohu.
Dana and I still have to find out a day and the time, because we're looking at probably doing it in the morning during the day instead of at night. So we're still working on that, Chair.
No problem.
So, sorry, Chair, I'd like to say that, like, part of the difficulty is getting access to these rooms, whether we're able to apply for them or not. I've gone to the gym, I've gone to the Satellite City Hall, and it's the same thing.
Dana, I have Jeff, we already spoke about that, and the paperwork is in, and he's just waiting for them to say it's a go. We
Okay,
spoke about that.
mahalo.
No problem. And then Parks and Rec, Joe Jordan, she's not online, but she did have her committee meeting. There was a good number of people, very productive, a lot of questions, concerns was brought up, and she will have no meeting for this month because she's on a trip, but she will have her scheduled meeting in November. And then next one up is Housing Homelessness, Nani Peterson.
Hi, aloha kako. Meeting was held on September 5th at Ho'omana Aina behind HCAP, and it went well. Out in the open scenery, potluck was, Uncle Abe made potluck for everybody, and so we're gonna have the meeting again in that space, 855555 Farrington Highway behind HCAP. Yeah, it is at the same time. And again, potluck. So please provide, if you're able to, some mea ai so we can put ai together, so we can eat together.
That is October 17th, right? October 17th.
Yes,
And
October
what time?
17th as 6 o'clock. As far as the 6 o'clock. The meeting that was held, we had a presentation from Charles Hewlin in regards to some development behind number 1 area. There were a lot of great community information was given back to them, and so I haven't received any update as far as how they want to move forward or if they want to move forward. So I'm assuming that they don't want to move forward in regards to that development behind number 1. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Nani. So education, health, public safety, Mr. Endo, if you can just wrap up your meeting.
Well, I was, we had a meeting, but my next meeting is gonna be on Tuesday next week at 6:30 at Wai'anae Assembly of God's Church, Macau Valley Road, right, the church is right behind 7-Eleven, Macau. One of the couple issues that we've been looking at is, let's say schools, the traffic, especially in the morning and the afternoon, is most of the your schools is, especially elementary schools, are unsafe. The other thing we're kind of talking about is the homeless camps. So we don't repeat the history of chaos where they was there so long, had an infectious disease that generated, right? So people are not looking at that. So even when they move out, that soil needs to be tested because I know it's not healthy. So those are some of the issues we're following up on.
Thank you, Mr. Endo. Business Economic Development, Dina. So just know,
Sorry,
guys,
I'm
be
going
working
to
on that.
Yes, within the next week, I should have the agenda and the location after I talk to you guys. Thank you, Karen.
No problem. And then Natural Resources is also Dina. So, yeah, it's been a challenge in us finding places. And so with the NCO's help, Jeff, he's been putting in applications and trying to get us spaces to utilize so we can have the committee meetings. It's not that they're not making effort. It's been a challenge because at the satellite, we cannot go over there. The bathroom has issues, the plumbing. So it's best we not even use that facility as much as possible. Okay, so we're gonna defer. Okay, sorry, I lost my track. Okay, now we're on announcements. House Representative Muraoka has a town hall with, it's combined with Rep Keela on Friday, October 24th at Kamaili Academy from 7 to 9. And that one is 85180 Alakau Street. And then next meeting for education, health, and public safety. That's Mr. Endo said October 14th, 6:30 to 7:30 at Wai'anae Assembly of God behind Makaha 7-Eleven. Housing homelessness, NANI, 10/17, October 17 at 6 p.m. behind HCAP. And then the next regular board meeting is Tuesday, November 4th at 6:30 p.m. here at the Wai'anae Public Library. And meeting adjourned.